customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And by switching, you could even save $652. Thank you, Liberty Mutual. Now, contestants ready? Go!
Oh, don't make it
Why? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Tomorrow on ET, two Olivers.
Double the ET takeovers.
This is Oliver Hudson. I'm the new ET correspondent. On
the set of the season 6. Season 6.
Season 6.
Don't include that. Don't include that. Woo, that's a different show.
Here's me on the couch waiting for that season.
But
okay?
that season might not be too bad. I'm just saying. We're going to leave you guys now with AGT and season 17's new champs. Good night, everybody.
Happening now.
City Council easily passing a budget today, but there was a much more contentious vote at the heart of it. What to do with some of that extra revenue they got from CPS Energy.
Where the Bexar County Elections Offices now has a personal connection to voting rights champion Willie Velasquez. That and other insights into his early life in San Antonio tonight.
Morning temperatures will be on the rise. I'll tell you how warm it's going to get, along with the latest track with Tropical Storm Fiona in just a bit. The news at 5 starts right now.
More police officers, city employee pay raises, and bill credits back to CPS Energy customers. It's all in the $3.4 billion budget passed by City Council today.
City Hall reporter Garrett Berger joins us live to walk us through some of the highlights of this huge budget. So was there any disagreement getting this one passed?
Absolutely, there was, but really just over one portion. We'll get into that in a minute, though. First, here's some of the meat and potatoes of any budget. Now, SAPD is going to get dozens of new officers, up to 78 more, depending if they get a federal grant. Now, there will be $116 million for street maintenance, and the Neighborhood and Housing Services budget is tripled that of last year, largely swelled by the bond dollars you already approved for affordable housing bond, or through an affordable housing bond. And all civilian city employees are getting pay raises to make the city more competitive. And the city's also reducing its property tax rate by a little less than 3%. Now, council made about 20 mostly smaller tweaks to the budget, to the budget proposal that staff had presented in August, including giving more money to the MLK Commission, which puts on the annual MLK March. Though its chairman says the money will help with more than that.
We have a youth summit, we have a wreath laying ceremony, we have our scholarships, we have our Distinguished Citizen Award. There are other activities, a number, then there's the March program itself.
But the debate over what to do with extra CPS Energy revenue took up most of the discussion. Now, the staff plan to send $50 million back to all CPS customers, mostly through bill credits that would average $29 for residential ratepayers, and that idea won out. But it was a narrow vote. How close that split was among council members and when you'll see that money back, we'll have that for you at 6. We've also got more in-depth reporting on the budget on our website. Check out what else is in there by finding this story on KSAT.com. Live in the newsroom, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, Garrett. Right now, the search is on for a missing 14-year-old girl. She was last seen near Hunt Lane and Ingram Road on the city's west side.
Angelina Lizarraga is 5 feet tall, has black hair and brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a black polo jacket and ripped jeans.
If you know anything about where she might be, you're being asked to call SAPD's Missing Persons Unit. The number 210-207-7660. A San Antonio woman today sentenced to 28 years in prison for murdering her ex-husband. Crystal Rodriguez took this plea deal in the case. Last December, she shot and killed her ex-husband at his home in the 5700 block of Pine Country near Judson Road.
She killed a man in cold blood, shot him in the back of the head with her 4-year-old in the house when this happened. She's taken a good man from us.
The prosecution stated they took Crystal Rodriguez's mental health problems into consideration when that plea agreement was put together. Coming up next, though, on the news at 6, we're going to hear from the victim's mother as she faced Crystal Rodriguez in court today.
A man is fighting for his life after an overnight shooting. It happened around 12:30 this morning on Waters Edge Drive. That's not too far from Loop 410 and Marbach Road. That's where police say someone shot the man twice and then took off. So far, no arrests have been made.
Police investigating after a man chased down an alleged peeping Tom and shot at him. This happened around 10:30 last night on Secco Creek, just outside of Loop 1604 near I-10. Officers tell us a teenage girl told one of her family members a man was looking at her through the patio window. Well, that's when the girl's family members ran after the man. They fired shots at him, too. The man got away. Police did not find any blood in the vicinity.
The search is on for a man who stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise from an optometrist's office last week. It happened about 2 in the morning on September 5th. It was at the Bernie Vision Center off of I-10. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office's surveillance photos show a man in a mask breaking into the center, placing merchandise in a tub before driving off in a white van. Deputies believe the merchandise was worth between $30,000 to $35,000. If you know anything that can help in this case and help find that suspect, you're asked to call BCSO at the number on your screen, 210-335-6000.
The latest now on a group of migrants bust out of our state. They're now in Washington, D.C. 2 buses dropping off those migrants near Vice President Kamala Harris's home this morning.
Governor Greg Abbott says Texas sent more than 100 migrants from 6 different countries. Their arrival comes just hours after 50 migrants were flown into Martha's Vineyard. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' office claimed responsibility for that and said the state was moving migrants to, quote, sanctuary destinations, end quote.
Today, the White House called out Republican governors for interfering in the legal process of managing migrants. The White House press secretary called it shameful, reckless, and just plain wrong. We'll continue to follow this story at 6 and 10, including allegations that these migrants were misled with false promises to get them on the planes and buses. Now to that apparently averted railway strike.
President Joe Biden speaking in the Rose Garden, celebrating the tentative agreement between the unions representing the railway workers and the freight rail companies.
ABC's Ike Ajachi is in Washington with more.
Today, President Biden, thanking negotiators in the White House Rose Garden, says the tentative deal between the unions and the rail companies is a big win for America.
This is a win for tens of thousands of rail workers and for their dignity and the dignity of their work. It's a recognition of that. Every good that you need seems to end up on a rail getting delivered to where it needs to go.
Biden says the agreement will allow the freight rail companies to retain and recruit workers.
They'll be able to continue to operate effectively as a vital piece of our economy.
The deal impacts approximately 60,000 union railroad employees and includes a 24% wage increase during a 5-year period from 2020 through 2024. A 14% wage increase effective immediately with 5 annual $1,000 bonuses to each employee. And it grants workers the ability to take unpaid time off for medical and preventative care without penalty, a key sticking point of the negotiations. Key players from 2 unions that were holding out speaking to CNN after the negotiations finished.
This was the quality of life issue that we have been trying to get for our members since the bargaining round started.
Workers would also receive an additional paid day off under the agreement. Economists say the deal averted a strike that would have cost the nation's economy $2 billion a day. The agreement now goes to all union members for a ratification vote. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Traffic right now, this is US 90 at Nogalitos, and you can see traffic moving smoothly in both directions. Here's 281 in Grayson. No major problems to tell you about out there.
And just a few showers on the radar screen, and we're talking closer to the Gulf coastline. They made it into parts of eastern Lavaca County and DeWitt counties, but then dissipated. Look over the past hour. We had some of that moderate to heavy rainfall very briefly in Lavaca and DeWitt counties, but it quickly dissipated as it tried to move its way farther to the northwest. This is that 10% chance we were talking about, most of it closer to the Gulf coastline. And going forward over the next few days, we still have that slight chance, but I think mostly closer to the Gulf coastline. Temperature-wise, 94 in Schertz, Floresville 92, 88 right now, Eagle Pass 91 in Bulverde, and Seguin at 92 degrees. Through this evening, temperatures just gradually falling off through the 80s. Will be 82 degrees at 10 o'clock, midnight 78. Not as cool tomorrow morning as what we had today with higher humidity. We also have the new Drought Monitor that's in. We'll compare that to several weeks ago, see what kind of improvements we made, and the latest track for Tropical Storm Fiona in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. This month is Hispanic Heritage Month, and much like Martin Luther King Jr. and John Lewis in the South, The late Willie Velasquez was a voting rights pioneer.
Posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Velasquez went from being an outspoken voice at St. Mary's University to creating the Southwest Voter Registration and Education Project.
Jesse Degollado says some personal insight into the man and his family.
Among her hundreds of family photos, this is Stella Aguilar's favorite, the Little Rascals one, of her looking just like Darla and her brother like Waldo.
I think he was that intelligent little boy that always used big words.
Willie Velasquez would later use his gift to both inspire and challenge, to empower Mexican Americans. A few decades earlier,
Willie Velasquez came here many times, long before the Bexar County Elections Office was here. This is where the boy who would become a voting rights champion would come visit his grandmother's house.
The boy whose family knew him as Billy, then Bill as he got older. At Central Catholic High School on scholarship, they called him Willie. Yet the first time his sister did too.
Willie, he says, that sounds so strange coming from you. Don't call me Willie, call me Bill.
Soon enough, Willie Velasquez practically became a household name for Mexican Americans, rallying, organizing, leading one of the first movements of its kind, registering Mexican Americans to vote. Yet many in his family didn't really realize what he was doing.
He never bragged about what he did.
Aguilar says it wasn't until presidential contender Michael Dukakis came to pay his respects after her brother's death did her own son understand. They say the discrimination and inequality Velasquez and his family had witnessed growing up on the West Side, combined with the violent, often deadly struggle for civil rights in the South,
just to register people to vote,
are why George Velasquez says his brother took on the fight that he did.
So the voting is the power right there. But we have to vote.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
You still head on the news at 5 using spices at dinner time, something just about everyone does. After the break, we're going to tell you why a new report says you might want to think twice about cooking with your favorite herbs.
And how much do your kids know about where their fruits and veggies come from? After the break, we're going to show you how an area nonprofit is getting children involved in the garden.
Myra Arthur here in the newsroom. Here's what we're working on tonight for the news at 6. A high-profile case that will not go to trial after all. A wrongful death lawsuit filed by the family of Cameron Reedus, the University of the Incarnate Word student who was shot and killed by a campus police officer, will not go to trial next week after an agreed resolution has now been reached. Tonight at 6, what the case could have potentially exposed about the university and the oversight of its police force. Plus, on what would have been their son's 41st birthday, a family feeling like today they got justice. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom where a woman was sentenced for killing her ex-husband. What the victim's family is saying today. That's today on the news at 6. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Myra. And now to a concern about the herbs and spices that you have in your kitchen. It's a great way to kick up the flavor, but tests show that you may also be adding certain amounts of heavy metals, concerning amounts. 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris shows us which 3 spices raise the most concern and how you can easily just grow your own.
Maybe go with here. So if you clip the top, say 8 or 10 inches, the rest will continue to grow.
Basil, rosemary, and thyme. This is the Ramsey family herb garden.
We're gonna make pesto out of this.
It's more than a tasty hobby, though. It's a solution. Consumer Reports test revealed that about 1/3 of the store-bought spices they looked at contain potentially dangerous heavy metals, including lead and arsenic, enough to raise health concerns when eaten regularly in typical serving sizes. The 3 store-bought herbs they found are most problematic are ones you probably pull out of the cupboard a lot: basil, thyme, and oregano. The good news, they're also among the simplest to grow. If you have a sunny spot in your yard or even a windowsill, you can grow herbs to use fresh or dry yourself. Herbs grow well in separate pots with drainage, so put a few stones in the bottom of a pot with a hole in it. To grow herbs free of heavy metals, start with the soil.
Buy potting soil with a seal from the Organic Materials Review Institute to be sure it's been assessed for heavy metals.
It's easy to dry and store your herbs too. Wash and dry the leaves thoroughly to avoid mold. Put them in a paper bag for several weeks, then store in airtight containers where they can last a few years. You can speed up the drying process by using a toaster oven or an air fryer set on dehydration. And bonus, once you get started, growing your own is a flavorful and healthy way to save money. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
You've probably heard the phrase, you are what you eat, but in some cases it's what you grow and eat. Like Marilyn just said, a local nonprofit is actually creating gardens at schools and teaching kids about healthy eating, along with the science of gardening.
I love to plant flowers because I get to put in the seeds.
How cute is that? Gardopia Gardens was founded back in 2015. It works with different groups across the city, including Blessed Sacrament Academy on the south side of town. Every Thursday, a member with the nonprofit comes to the academy to teach the children at the garden how to plant and grow their own fruits and vegetables. By the end of the year, Gardopia Gardens hopes to be working with a total of 20 different schools.
Looking outside with live cam. Yeah, 10% chance of rain for one person, maybe.
Yeah, in basically southeast of Hallettsville and northeast of Cuero, and that was about it today. You could see a lot of sunshine overhead, just a few of those fair weather clouds. Now, earlier this morning, you may have felt that somewhat crisp feeling. 67 for the low. That was the coolest reading we've had here officially in San Antonio since May 26th. But it's not going to last. I'm sorry. Warmer mornings ahead with much higher humidity. And even though it's going to be muggy, we have very minimal rain chances. Temperatures will be running above average with highs in the mid 90s. I'm going to start you off with some good news. Okay, so this is the drought monitor from 4 weeks ago. This is 1 month ago. You see the extreme and exceptional drought across our area. Let's fast forward to the new drought monitor issued today, and boy, have we put a big dent in the drought across our area, especially in the worst categories of extreme and exceptional. You go across the state, 59% of Texas considered in drought. East Texas, far north Texas, Wichita Falls area, and even just south of San Antonio, especially Corpus Christi and points southward, not even in drought anymore. Even a little hole here in West Texas where the summer monsoon season has been really good to them, not considered in drought. So we've seen big improvements over the past 4 weeks. The exceptional category, the worst drought category, is down 26%, and the extreme category down 28%. It's nice to see that. Today, a few showers closer to the Gulf Coast. I think that's going to be the general trend the next few days. Overall, what we have is more of a summertime weather pattern setting up. One upper level high exiting our region, only to be replaced with another one coming in from northern Mexico. This is going to sit right over Texas, park itself right overhead, and just kind of move around a little bit just over the state basically. And that's going to deflect all the active weather around us because the center of that high is going to be just about overhead. And yes, it's going to press down on us a little bit, raising our temperatures above average, mid 90s. But right now, doesn't look like we'll hit 100. We're still just 1 day away of the all-time record for 100-degree days. Rain chances 10% tomorrow, 10% Saturday, and that's mostly between I-10 and I-37 and closer to the Gulf coastline. And even though it's 0% Sunday into next week for those of us around San Antonio and most of our viewing area, maybe a few pop-ups closer to the Gulf Coast. That's it. Generally, we're looking dry. Tropical storm Fiona, it's not going to bring us any moisture. Higher end tropical storm now, max sustained winds at 60 miles per hour. National Hurricane Center still has it going west and then starting to make that turn northward and remaining a tropical storm over the next 5 days. Spaghetti models, too, are in agreement, tightly packed here going westward, staying just north of the Caribbean, and then likely to make that turn parallel to the east coast of the U.S. All right, quick look at temperatures and what's going to happen here in the next few days. Again, 67 this morning. That felt refreshing. Well, we haven't felt that since late May. 92 our high, the average being 90. Right now, 89 in Uvalde, 93 Gonzales, New Braunfels at 94 degrees, 88 Canyon Lake, and right now 93 Castroville and Divine. Tomorrow morning, back in the 70s. Low to mid 70s for most of us. So 71 Helotes, 73 Converse, Stinson Airport on the south side, about 73 for the morning low. That'll be at 7 a.m., mostly cloudy to start the day. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast showing by noon we're up to 88. And then into the afternoon, we make it up to 93 degrees. So the afternoon's going to be similar to today. Just, I think, a little bit higher humidity, a little more mugginess in the air, and that very off chance, that slight chance of a shower. Tomorrow, New Braunfels 93, Rio Medina 92, and Kerrville a high of 90. And then with that drier pattern and that quote-unquote heat high overhead, we're looking at least mid-90s for highs next week.
Thank you so much, Adam.
All right, no Dak, so we're expecting the Zeke and Tony show.
They say this every year. Even with Dak, we're going to run the ball more.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to put him in the backfield, the two-headed monster in the backfield. Yeah, it didn't happen. When we come back, they may be forced to do that now that Dak Prescott is sidelined. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys run game. We'll hear from Ezekiel Elliott in just a moment. And the odds have improved for the UTSA Roadrunners against Texas coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dallas Cowboys promised a two-headed monster in the backfield by using both Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard in the running game, but that did not happen in their 19-3 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday Night Football. In fact, the Cowboys only rushed for 71 total yards, with Ezekiel Elliott locked in the most important year of his contract life, rushing for only 52 yards on 10 carries, while Pollard getting even less, 6 carries for 8 yards. How important will it be for the Cowboys to establish a run game against the Cincinnati Bengals this Sunday, especially with a backup quarterback in Cooper Rush subbing for the injured Dak Prescott?
I think it's important, period, to establish a run game and run the football and get that going. I think just, over as an offense, we're a better football team when we run the ball. And so, I think we ran the ball efficiently last Sunday. I'm looking forward to committing to it this week.
All right, the Cowboys will be 7.5-point underdogs in their own house Sunday when they kick off against the Bengals at 3:25 p.m. And KSAT 12 Sports will be there. The biggest game of the season, and you could argue the biggest game in the school's football history, will take place this Saturday when the UTSA Roadrunners travel to Austin to meet up with the Texas Longhorns for the very first time. As we get closer to game day, the odds against the Roadrunners have improved. They have gone from 13.5-point underdogs to 10.5-point underdogs before kickoff Saturday night. One of the big improvements that Roadrunners head coach Jeff Traylor has noticed on the Texas Longhorns has been their offensive and their defensive lines. Does that raise the hype level for the challenge for the Roadrunners O-line?
I'm gonna be honest. Any team we go against, I approach them the same way. I'll approach them as I approach Houston, as I approach the Army. Especially as a center, you got to be prepared. But luckily, we have veteran O-linemen like KD and T. Haynes that are just gonna be there to keep a calm head. Just like I think that's what we need. Just keep a calm head.
All right, kickoff in Austin this Saturday night between the Roadrunners and Longhorns is set for 7 p.m. and KSAT 12 Sports will be there. LeBron James and other NBA stars are calling out the NBA, more specifically Commissioner Adam Silver, for his decision regarding Phoenix Suns and Mercury owner Robert Sarver. They feel Sarver should be banned from the league, not suspended for 1 year and fined $10 million for his actions, not the least of which using a racial slur when recounting conversations of others. James compares Sarver's actions to that of former Clippers owner Donald Sterling, who was banned for life and forced to sell his team, the then Clippers, after making racist statements and recorded conversations. James posting on social media definitely got this wrong. And the season, by the way, training camp is right around the corner. It starts in late September.
I even saw Chris Paul of the Phoenix Suns be very critical of the owner.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back.
All right, tomorrow morning, not quite as cool as what we had earlier today when we were down in the 60s. We even had some upper 50s in the hill country. Tomorrow morning, we're talking probably mid-upper 60s in the hill country, low 70s elsewhere. Then by the afternoon, we make it back into the lower 90s. Livonia 93, Leon Springs 92.
Thanks for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.